might be hard to imagine with all of this dead space around, but there are big plans in the works to transform this old industrial space into a neighborhood with restaurants, a marina, and even more. It's a tall order, and developers say they need the tall buildings to match.
It incorporates attributes in zoning that we have not seen or had a developer to bring forward in this city ever.
Councilman Darren Ledford is Chattanooga's planning and zoning chairman. His interest in the Bend extends beyond his job title.
I've been on that river for 20 years, and that river has not been accessible to the people. And finally, we have a plan that animates it. Developers
want to bend the rules in place. They're asking to put up 12-story buildings, which the staff of the Regional Planning Agency has recommended to deny. They say buildings in this area should be no taller than 6 stories.
If you're standing on the riverfront or you're standing down there, how is the view blocked from 6 buildings versus 12?
In its recommendation, the planning agency outlines a few issues with the big building. That includes concerns it will block the views of the Tennessee River, set a precedent for projects of this size, and hurt the density and economic viability of the downtown core. But the Planning Commission went ahead anyway to approve taller buildings.
Staff came back with with a tremendous amount of denies for their request. But what you have to understand is that's their job, because there's nothing to measure it against except form-based code in which this new context lives.
School district is still in the early phases of planning for a health clinic to come here to Howard Connect. Now they say what's going to make this health clinic so unique is that it's not only serving students and staff members, but also their families. A way to keep kids healthy and in school.
You can't educate a child who's sick.
The district receiving funding from the state to bring a federally qualified health center here.
Not only could we treat their illnesses, but we could take care of them from a wellness standpoint. Their physicals, their immunizations, many of those things that private physician offices do.
The clinic will be open to Hamilton County school staff members, students, and for the first time, their families. It's particularly focused on reducing absenteeism.
School-based health clinics are proven to reduce absenteeism by up to 50%.
Lyra Navarro Flores says treatable conditions like asthma can keep kids out of school when students don't have access to care.
So the school-based health clinic is able to reduce absenteeism because of the major barrier, which is access.
And that access is especially hard to find in this community. The state ranks Alton Park as 604th out of 606 Tennessee zip codes when it comes to the health of residents.
If you don't have a family practitioner that can walk you through or be an advocate for you, what are you going to have? You're going to have high blood. You're going to have diabetes. This is going to, your health is going to continue to spiral down.
Pastor Attorney Jordan says it's about bringing health care directly to communities in need.
It is absolutely necessary, if we're going to improve the numbers of health in our community, that these places be located where people can get to them.
And as the district continues planning for a new clinic,
When you feel better, you do better.
They're hoping ease of access will be one less barrier. A 2019 Hamilton County Picture of Health report found that Black Hamilton County residents were more likely to experience chronic health conditions. Pastor Jordan points to health disparities like that in the Alton Park area, as well as in East Chattanooga, where he operates the Purpose Point Clinic.
The whittling down continues from the top 5 to these final 4.
Now it turns over to us, and we need to see the field.
Before the vote, the board heard from search consultant Ken Carrick. He was asked who has the most relevant experience to a school district this size.
There's only one candidate in this pool that's actually done the job, and he did it in a district bigger. I think you guys are the 4th largest in Tennessee. He did it in Knox County, which was the 3rd largest.
That man, Jim McIntyre, who'll move on to the final round. But tonight's top vote getter, Dr. Justin Robertson, the current interim deputy superintendent for Hamilton County Schools.
He also has a very vested interest in the system. Not only does he work there, he's got an 8th grade in the system.
We have a great internal candidate, and we need to put him up against the field to see what's out there.
We asked board chair Tucker McClendon about the state of the district the next super will inherit.
We're in the best place this district has been since the city and county consolidated.
But according to Tennessee Department of Education stats, there's room for growth on a state and local level. One of those areas is in the discrepancy between graduation rates and students who are prepared for college or careers after high school. Hamilton County has an 87% graduation rate, but only 40% of students are considered ready graduates.
On a personal note, I lived it. I was a product of a Hamilton County school who was not ready when they got to college.
And he says he hopes that will be a continued focal point under the next administration.
We have to really make that a focus, and the state has to make it a focus on how do we help our high schools and better prepare our students as they go into whatever career they're going to.